Did you know France controls more time zones than any other country on Earth? Its longest border isn't with Germany or Spain, but with Brazil, and it's home to the most visited museum on the planet. This isn't the France you learned about in school. Get ready, because in this video, you're about to discover 25 facts about France that reveal why this country plays such an outsized role in global culture, politics, and everyday life. Number 25. France is the largest country in the European Union by land area, covering over 200,000 square miles. That's roughly the size of Texas. It stretches from the Atlantic Ocean to the Mediterranean Sea, and from the English Channel down to the Pyrenees Mountains. This geographic diversity means you can experience alpine peaks, sunny beaches, rolling vineyards, and flat northern plains all within one country. Number 24. France produces over 1,000 different types of cheese. That's not an exaggeration. French cheesemakers have been perfecting their craft for centuries, and almost every region has its own signature variety. From soft brie to pungent Roquefort, the sheer variety is part of daily French life. It's estimated that the average French person eats around 57 pounds of cheese per year. Number 23. The Eiffel Tower was never meant to be permanent. It was built in 1889 as a temporary structure for the World's Fair in Paris and was supposed to be dismantled after 20 years. Parisians initially hated it, calling it an eyesore. The only reason it survived was because it proved useful as a giant radio antenna. Today, it's the most recognizable landmark in France. Number 22. France has more Nobel Prize winners in literature than any other country. 16 French writers have won the prize since it was first awarded in 1901. This reflects the country's long tradition of philosophy, poetry, and storytelling. French literature has shaped global thought for centuries, from Voltaire and Victor Hugo to Albert Camus and Simone de Beauvoir. Number 21. The French Riviera along the southern coast was originally a winter destination for wealthy Europeans, not a summer one. Before air conditioning, people avoided the intense Mediterranean heat. It wasn't until the 1920s that American tourists popularized sunbathing and turned the Riviera into the summer playground it is today. Now, places like Nice, Cannes, and Saint-Tropez are synonymous with warm weather luxury. Number 20. France is the world's most visited country, attracting nearly 90 million international tourists every year. That's more than the entire population of France itself. Paris is the main draw, but millions also visit the chateaux of the Loire Valley, the beaches of Normandy, the vineyards of Bordeaux, and the ski resorts of the Alps. Tourism is a massive part of the French economy. Number 19. French is an official language in 29 countries across 5 continents. It's spoken by over 300 million people worldwide. While France is the birthplace of the language, the majority of French speakers today actually live in Africa. Countries like the Democratic Republic of Congo, Ivory Coast, and Cameroon all use French as an official language due to colonial history. Number 18. France operates 12 different time zones, the most of any country in the world. This is because of its overseas territories scattered across the globe. While mainland France uses Central European time, places like French Guiana in South America, Reunion Island in the Indian Ocean, and French Polynesia in the Pacific all keep their own local time. The US only has 6 by comparison. Number 17. The French Revolution introduced the metric system to the world. In 1795, revolutionary leaders wanted to standardize measurements and break from royal traditions. They created a new system based on decimal units, which was easier to use and more logical than the chaotic mix of local measurements that existed before. Today, nearly every country uses the metric system except the United States. Number 16. The Louvre Museum in Paris is the largest art museum in the world. It holds over 38,000 objects, from from ancient Egyptian artifacts to Renaissance masterpieces. The building itself was originally a royal palace, before becoming a public museum during the French Revolution. The famous glass pyramid entrance was added in 1989 and was controversial at the time, but is now iconic. Number 15. France was the first country in the world to ban supermarkets from throwing away unsold food. A law passed in 2016 requires large grocery stores to donate edible food to charities or for animal feed instead of sending it to landfills. The law was designed to reduce waste and fight hunger. It's been so successful that other countries have started copying the model. Number 14. The Tour de France is older than you might think. The famous cycling race started in 1903 and has been held almost every year since, even during wartime. It covers over 2,000 miles across French countryside, mountains, and occasionally neighboring countries. The race lasts 3 weeks and is watched by millions of people lining the roads and on television worldwide. Number 13. Wine production in France dates back over 2,000 years to Roman times. Today, France remains one of the top wine producers in the world, competing closely with Italy and Spain. Regions like Bordeaux, Burgundy, and Champagne are legendary among wine enthusiasts. French law tightly controls how wine is made and labeled, protecting the reputation of each region, and we're only halfway through the list. Some of the most surprising facts are still coming. Number 12. France has a law that makes it illegal to name a pig Napoleon. The law supposedly dates back to the 1800s and was meant to protect the legacy of Napoleon Bonaparte. While it's rarely enforced today, it remains on the books as a quirky historical footnote. It reflects how seriously France takes its national symbols and historical figures. Number 11. The French invented the can opener nearly 50 years after the invention of the can. The French military started using tin cans to preserve food for soldiers in 1810, but no one had designed a practical tool to open them. For decades, people used hammers, chisels, or even bayonets. The first can opener didn't appear until 1858. Number 10. The guillotine was used in France far more recently than most people realize. The last execution by guillotine happened in 1977, the same year the first Star Wars movie came out. France abolished the death penalty entirely in 1981. For nearly 2 centuries, the guillotine was the standard method of execution and became deeply associated with French justice. Number 9. France has more roundabouts than any other country in the world, with over 30,000 of them. The French prefer roundabouts to traffic lights because they keep traffic flowing and reduce accidents. The most famous is the chaotic Place de l'Étoile in Paris, where 12 avenues meet around the Arc de Triomphe. Navigating it can be intimidating even for experienced drivers. Number 8. The Statue of Liberty was a gift from France to the United States. It was designed by French sculptor Frédéric Auguste Bartholdi and built in Paris before being shipped to New York in pieces. The statue was dedicated in 1886 as a symbol of friendship between the two nations and their shared values of freedom and democracy. France kept a smaller replica on an island in the Seine River in Paris. Number 7. France is one of only a few countries that still uses nuclear power for most of its electricity. About 70% of French electricity comes from nuclear plants. This was a strategic decision made in the 1970s after the oil crisis to reduce dependence on foreign energy. France has one of the lowest carbon emissions per capita among industrialized nations because of this policy. Number 6. Croissants are not originally French. They were invented in Austria and brought to France in the 18th century by Marie Antoinette, who was Austrian. French bakers perfected the recipe, adding more butter and creating the flaky layers we know today. Now the croissant is as French as the Eiffel Tower in the global imagination. Number 5. France was the first country in Europe to abolish slavery, doing so during the French Revolution in 1794. However, Napoleon reinstated it in 1802 under pressure from plantation owners in French colonies. It wasn't permanently abolished until 1848. This complicated history reflects the tension between revolutionary ideals and economic interests. Number 4. The French Foreign Legion is one of the most unique military units in the world. It allows foreign nationals to join the French military and earn French citizenship through service. Founded in 1831, the Legion has a reputation for toughness and anonymity. Recruits can even enlist under assumed names, which historically attracted people looking for a fresh start. Number 3. France shares its longest border not with Germany, Spain, or Italy, but with Brazil. This is because French Guiana, an overseas region on the northern coast of South America, is legally part of France. The border between French Guiana and Brazil is over 400 miles long. That means the European Union technically borders Brazil. Number 2. The French language was the dominant language of international diplomacy for centuries. From the 17th century until the mid-20th century, French was the language used in treaties, royal courts, and elite education across Europe. Even today, many diplomatic terms come from French. English only overtook it after World War II as American influence grew. Number 1. France has been a key player in space exploration through its role in the European Space Agency. The ESA launches rockets from French Guiana because its location near the equator gives rockets a natural speed boost. This makes it one of the most important spaceports in the world. France has also contributed to major missions including Mars rovers and the Hubble Space Telescope. So which fact surprised you the most? Was it the 12 time zones, the ban on naming pigs Napoleon, or the fact that France borders Brazil? Drop your answer in the comments below. If you enjoyed learning these facts, check out our next video exploring more surprising geography. And if you want to see more content like this, hit the like button and subscribe. Thanks for watching Beyond Borders.